Hey y'all, it's Taylor from Tattooed Teacher Plans. Welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, welcome. I'm so glad you're here. Today we're doing a memory spread and I'm going to be memory keeping the week of May 25th through the 31st. It is the last week of May of 2020. This year has been a year and this week was a lot, but I think it is really good to reflect when things are hard and heavy and you don't know how to feel about them because you can work through them. So that's what I'm going to be doing today and next week even more so, I'm sure, because it's just a lot going on and I feel all the things I have since I was like a little kid. I cry like every day, even for like happy things, but I feel a lot. And this week I was definitely feeling a lot. So let's get into the kit itself. So I am using this GP Studio kit called Stay Home. This was supposed to be here like 2 months ago, but with the way the post has been with Australia, it came like 4 weeks late, but that's okay because we can use it because I'm still staying home and being safe, and this is applicable to my life. So here are the full boxes. I think they're really pretty. I have some yeast. I haven't made any bread because I don't eat a lot of bread, but maybe it'll be like a therapeutic thing that I can do. But I love the whole theme of this and the colors. It's really pretty, just super pretty. I love these little funky rainbows too. I did add on to my order these rustic rainbows. And maybe I'll like incorporate some in this spread. I just think they're really pretty and fun, and I don't know, they give me a little bit of hope for some reason. All right, here are the date covers. I don't know which ones I'm going to be using. Probably these because I love periwinkle. I think it's so pretty. And we've got some deco up here. Bunch of things on this page. I was planning to use this in my other planner, which is why I have this giant kit. Although I don't think you can buy the kit pieces anymore. I think you have to buy the whole kit now, which is fine because their prices are really low. And then the little weekend banner. I love the little rainbow on it. And then we've got full boxes. Look at that sunshine. I just love this. Yeah, I'm excited to use this kit. I have a bunch of pictures up here. It's going to be a picture heavy week for sure. I'm going to be including a lot of inspirational things because, like, I don't know if I've talked about this before, but I look back at this all the time. Like, when I sit down to start to plan a new spread, I just instinctively flip back and look at other spreads, and, like, I'm reminded of memories and reflections. So, like, putting in inspiration such as, like, this from Amy Tangerine, like, I have a memory tied to that and a feeling tied to it. And I think that, at least for me, like, I like having things like this, like memes and lettering and inspirational things from the news or even hard things. They remind me of what is going on. So I think that's important for myself and my memory keeping style. Here is the spread that I had done in my memory planner. It's so pretty. I really like it. The plan with me is up if you want to go and watch this. I definitely had some comments at the end about this week, which I'll be kind of repeating in this memory keeping session. But I think we're ready to get started, so let's do it. So as normal, we're going to start with the bottom washi area. So I'm just prepping it here, getting rid of the darker lines and just kind of making it more of a clean slate. I'm going to use both strips, and I'm going to use the glitter strip first, and then I'm just going to leave a little bit of a space between them because I just kind of like that look. So we're doing that on both sides here. I really like the peach color in this kit. That's one of my favorite colors. Put it in the wrong spot. And then for glitter headers, I'm just using the ones from the kit. They match the bottom washi, and they're this really pretty color. It's purple, but like super, super light purple. It almost looks silver, but it is really pretty. So I'm just going to put these across the top, and then I'm going to put date covers down, and there's 2 sets in this kit. I'm going to use one, obviously, and I chose the one with the cool pattern in it. And just because it would like not be too much with that. If I use the peach one, it would be too like matchy with the bottom washi is what I'm trying to say. And there are little circles to like guide you where to put the numbers, but these first two were really light and I couldn't even see the little dots. So I kind of had to bring them up and then put them back down again. Thank goodness for undo. The 26 on Tuesday is a little bit too low, but that's okay. And because they are kind of light, I just went ahead and got rid of the dates that are on the page. And then I definitely wanted to bring in the weekend banner because I just have a thing for these little rainbows. I think they're so cute, and everywhere that I can use them, I'm using them right now. So I'm going to go with the box with the girl reading. I just thought that was really adorable. I left out the box that said keep calm and stay home just because things were kind of opening up a little bit. I mean, it's funny now because everything's closing again. I'm filming this voiceover like a month after this. Well, more than a month actually, all the way into July. But things have changed. I think the vibe of the kit still works though. So I just put down a full box or a half box over there above the full box in the sidebar, and I'll finish that up at the end. So the 25th was Memorial Day, and I have this, it's like a picture with lettering over it from Amy Lotta Creations, something like that, on Instagram, and I just loved that like imagery. I thought it was beautiful. And then below that, I put a full box, and below that, I marked that it finally rained. We have been going kind of through a dry season where I live, which means that there are wildfires, and we had some a couple of years ago that were really bad and like people died and stuff. So now I think everybody's a little more proactive and like doing control burning and stuff, but every time that it gets too dry, that's immediately what my mind goes to. So it was nice to have some rain. And then that evening I marked with a pumpkin paper co that I made the best burgers. They were really good. Like really good. It was another Blue Apron recipe, and their burger recipes, I love all of them. They're delicious. And I don't remember what that one specifically was, but it was good apparently. And then on Tuesday, I made a note here that I started steaming my hair, which I am still doing a month and a half later. And I saw this from one of my favorite curly girl influencers, Mains by Mel. She's here on YouTube and Instagram. And I ordered a steamer like that day, and I've been loving it. It's making my hair more curly, and I think it's more healthy, it feels like, and I'm not using as much like dry heat. Plus it's, you know, like I said, it's very dry here, so it's nice to have some humidity for my hair because it loves it. And then below that, I made a note that I received a Facebook message from one of my sweet students. He was one of my favorite kids. Teachers do have favorites, I will tell you that. And he was one of mine. And I've been following him, but he wanted to just let me know that he had graduated college, which I had already seen, but I hadn't like commented on his stuff or anything. And that he just kind of thanked me for some things, and it was just so heartfelt, and like it just made me feel like, especially ending the school year the week before, it just made me feel like, you know, we are making a difference. You don't always hear it, but like it was awesome. And then below that, I finished up my grades. So that day was like a lot of, you know, school feelings, and that note from him was really nice. And then on Wednesday, I started a book called The Radium Girls, and it was really, really good. But I made a note here that it was super sad. It did make our country better in the end, but it was really sad. And then I did some editing, so that was a picture of me after I'd made a latte and was doing a bunch of editing. And then on the other side here, I'm just kind of rearranging or arranging, I guess, some pictures that I wanted to include. So there wasn't a lot going on this week, but there was a lot happening in the world that I wanted to remember. and I found a bunch of, and screenshotted a bunch of like inspiring and meaningful things this weekend. And you'll see this when I do the next week's spread as well. And I wanted to include those in my spread because I like to remember like the time that I'm living in. And so I'm just putting in a couple of lettering things about the protests that began on this Thursday. And I made a note here that I'm listening and absorbing, and my heart hurts, and I messed up my writing here, and I didn't leave enough spacing, so I'm gonna redo that in a second. But I was really like moved by the protests and like everything that was coming out of it, and just really like sat on my heart, and I sat with that and just kind of tried to kind of digest everything that was coming through. And then that day I felt compelled to make a donation to the NAACP Legal Defense and Education Fund, which I did, and that felt like a way that I could contribute. And I made another donation this week, which I will make note of in a little bit. So on Friday, I needed to just get some fresh air and some vitamin D. So I went out to the canyon, and it was just absolutely beautiful after the rain this week. And it was so green and beautiful. It's not always like that. And it also wasn't super hot. The canyon gets about 10 to 20 degrees hotter than what the temperature is at the surface. Not the surface, the rim. So that day just happened to be like this most beautiful day, and the canyon was gorgeous, and it was just like I feel like a spiritual connection to the canyon in a lot of ways, and nature in general. And going out there is just a way to have like some alone time and some like quiet time with myself. And then below that, I just wanted to make a note that I have a part to play, and I'm surprised by how many of my friends aren't doing theirs, and I'm disappointed. So that was something that I definitely felt on my heart too throughout all of this. The movement has just kind of highlighted some things that I didn't necessarily know or realize before, and my eyes are opened to a lot of things now. So this Saturday, this was when there were tons of protests around the country, and these are just some of the images that were kind of speaking to me. Martin Luther King quote, I really like the one from Amy Tangerine that says, you have to be brave with your life so that others can be brave with theirs. So I just made a note there that there were protests across the USA. And then at the very bottom, I wanted to make a note about my city's response. So I live in a small city in the Texas Panhandle, and our police department, I was very proud of our like city government and everything. And I made a note that I was relieved as well, because you never really know, like, until something happens, until they had a protest in my town that day, which I didn't even know about, but it was beautiful. I saw the live stream and everything. And our police were there to protect the protesters, and they prayed with the protesters, and it was just like really beautiful. And then on Sunday, I felt compelled to make another donation, which I did to the George Floyd Foundation. And then below that, I have a note that like, but I can do more. I just need to figure out what, can't even read my writing there. Oh, okay. Figure out what and how. And then I made a note at the bottom here that I had another perfect month, quote unquote. I'm not losing any weight. I'm carrying a lot of emotions, which I feel like is definitely a factor in that whole journey. And then on this side, I have this stupid story about choking on a steak on Saturday night. And I like, for real, it was probably just like a minute or less of choking, but I was alone and it was really scary. And after, like, the feeling of relief was with me after that incident for like days and days. And even thinking about it right now, I get like panicky and like, I don't know. It just like, it was a moment that was just like one of those things where you're like, I only have so many days, you know? And then my favorite moment was all of the protests. All right, here is how this spread turned out. It's pretty, but it's meaningful. And I know when I flip through this book that I will look at everything and I will remember how I felt in this moment and this week, and I don't know. I love this book so much. If you don't already know that, this is like my life, and this is my life, and I'm trying to make it a good one. So I hope that you are too. If you need any resources or want them, I will gladly share what has helped me. I'm still learning as we go here for sure, but I am keeping my heart open and my ears open, my eyes open, and I'm just growing and evolving, and that's all we can do as human beings. So I hope that you guys had a great week, and I hope that you enjoyed this memory spread and, enjoyed watching me reflect on all of these things. And if you did like this video, you can give it a thumbs up and subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And I'll see you next time. Bye.